Hey there, photography enthusiasts. Today, I want to dive into a topic that might seem a bit unconventional, but hear me out. Why should photographers, especially those who are always on the lookout for the latest gear and trends, turn their attention to old books? Well, prepare to be surprised because these vintage resources hold a wealth of knowledge that can elevate your photography game. So, let's talk about why I think delving into the past can be so beneficial for photographers in the present. First and foremost, books offer a depth of information that often surpasses what you'll find in online articles. And let's be honest, we've all had those moments where a quick online search leads us down a rabbit hole of inspiration, leaving us craving more. That's where my personal collection of photography books comes in. I've got a little library of my own, and it's my go-to resource when I want to dive deep into a topic. Now, here's the beauty of it. I often find myself drawn to older books, some of which are over 2 decades old. And you know what? I love the character these books have. Whether they're in pristine condition or well-loved, with pencil notes scribbled in the margins, they tell a story of their own. It's a reminder that books are practical tools, and we should use them in a way that serves our learning journey best. Sure, some older books might contain information that's a bit outdated, especially when it comes to the technical aspects. But here's the thing, I've noticed that older books tend to be more deeply technical, offering a level of detail that's hard to find in modern publications. And while some of that info might not be directly applicable to digital photography, there's still a wealth of knowledge to be gained. But it's not just about the technical stuff. Older books also give us a glimpse into the attitudes and perspectives of photographers from a different era. For instance, a book from 1948 refers to 35mm cameras as miniature, which is a fascinating insight into how photography equipment was viewed back then. Now, where do I find these gems? Well, I've got a few go-to places. I love browsing local secondhand bookshops, where you never know what hidden treasure you might uncover. But I also utilize online resources like awesomebooks.com and worldofbooks.com, which offer a wide selection of used books. And let's not forget about independent booksellers like Thrift Books, Bookfinder, and Better World Books, which are great for finding unique titles. So, without further ado, let's dive into some specific book recommendations from my collection. First up, we have A New History of Photography, edited by Michel Frizet. This massive book, published in 1998, is an incredible resource, covering the birth of photography to the end of the last century. It's packed with high-quality examples of works by influential photographers like Niepce and Daguerre, and it's an absolute steal for under $10. Next, we have 150 Years of Photojournalism, also published by Kohnman. This multilingual book, available in English, German, and Dutch, offers a comprehensive look at different aspects of photojournalism, from opera to the Olympics. It's a 2-volume set, but I've got the single 896-page paperback, which is a treasure trove of information. Then, there's The Lives of Lee Miller and Lee Miller's War by Anthony Penrose. These books have seen a resurgence in interest thanks to the biographical movie Lee, starring Kate Winslet. Lee Miller was not only a fascinating person, but an outstanding photographer with an incredible eye for composition. Her collaborations with Man Ray and her friendships within the surrealist art scene are a testament to her talent. Now, let's talk about some instructional manuals. Michael Freeman is a name that keeps popping up, and for good reason. His books are incredibly well-researched, illustrated, and written, making them some of the best educational resources out there. His 35mm Handbook and Mastering Digital Photography are perfect for those starting out with film photography, but they also cover the essentials of taking photos and using equipment. Another great book by Freeman is The Photographer's Eye, Composition and Design for Better Digital Photos. This book is packed with information on composition, covering topics like symmetry and the golden section, as well as less discussed aspects of photography. It's an accessible and insightful read. If you're interested in wedding photography, I've got 3 book recommendations for you. Ian G's Wedding Photography covers all the practical aspects, from shooting scenarios to advice on charging and copyright. Wedding Photography Unveiled by Jacqueline Tobin is a collection of essays by top photographers, offering a contemporary take on wedding photography. And Contemporary Wedding Photography by Julie Oswin and Steve Walton focuses on a range of scenarios, but it might be limited in its diversity due to the writer's localities. For studio photographers, Master Lighting Guide for Portrait Photographers by Christopher Gray is an invaluable resource. It covers the nature of light in a studio setting, different equipment, and provides examples of various lighting setups with detailed explanations. Ross Hodenott's Digital Macro Photography is another must-have for macro photographers. While the equipment might be a bit outdated, the techniques covered are applicable to most popular macro subjects. When it comes to understanding photography terminology, Dictionary of Photography and Digital Imaging by Tom Eng is an excellent reference. It covers everything from optical terms to alternative software options to Photoshop. Now, let's talk about two books with the same title, The Art of Black and White Photography. Torson Andreas Hoffman's book offers an insightful look at various aspects of black and white photography, but some sections might be a bit outdated. John Garrett's book, on the other hand, focuses on approaching different subjects and covers exposure, composition, and a wide range of photographic scenarios. Some books are more about showcasing a photographer's work than providing instruction, but they're still invaluable resources. Don McCullen's Don McCullen in Africa is a collection of amazing photos that showcase his perfect eye for composition. Joe Cornish's First Light, a landscape photographer's art, is a must-have for landscape photographers, with stunning images shot using an Ebony 455 field camera and Fuji Velvia film. Linda McCartney's Sunprint is a celebration of her experimental work with cyanotypes and silver-salted paper prints, and it even includes recipes for recreating her techniques. And finally, Franz Lanting's Eye to Eye is a showcase of his world-renowned wildlife photography. But it's not just photography books that can inspire and educate. The Creative Act by Rick Rubin and Neil Strauss is a fabulous book to dip into for a boost of creativity. Old Masters and Young Geniuses by David W. Galenson explores the two life cycles of artistic creativity, offering a fascinating read. Art and Fear by David Bales and Ted Orland is another great book that delves into the universal struggles all artists face. And finally, Ways of Seeing by John Berger is a game-changer for art criticism, challenging our beliefs about beauty, truth, and our civilization. So, there you have it, a glimpse into my personal library of photography books. I could go on for another 2,000 words, but I'll leave you with this. What books have you found particularly informative? I'd love to hear your recommendations in the comments. Let's keep the conversation going and continue to learn from each other.